Good morning. I'm sitting here in the stairway, how you say it, area, because I thought it was fun. And my vacuum is currently running. So I'm sitting here. I've noticed the sound is really funky here. So maybe it's not the greatest idea, but yeah, let's deal with it, and maybe I can kind of get rid of the reverb a little bit, but it does sound really interesting here. Anyways, today I kind of wanted to re-emphasize what I was talking about yesterday, because I have a friend of mine who is having a lot of issues at the moment. Not going to go into too much detail for privacy reasons, obviously, but this topic is a little bit about mental health, and I think it is so important, a so important topic, especially nowadays, where a lot of us are struggling with whatever issues might be. As I always mention, economy, especially in Germany, isn't great. Socially, I feel like our society isn't also in a great place. There is so much division, and work. Many people are getting laid off and stuff like that. It's not great. So it's really important to kind of talk about mental health and kind of normalize being able to speak about it and to deal with it, and also acknowledge that it is an issue. I mean, if you have a flu, you stay at home, right? You don't go to work. And I think if you have some mental issues, there should be the option to stay at home. Obviously, unfortunately, we are also in a society where sometimes things are being somewhat taken advantage of, and we unfortunately have people who just don't want to work, use whatever excuse they have, and then don't come to work, which then again means other people are having to deal with this, and then they have their problems just because someone else doesn't want. But this is not, I'm kind of off topic now, but mental health. So going back to my buddy, and I'm really worried about him, because he has to deal with, again, I'm trying not to kind of tell too much, but he has some things to deal with that, as far as I can see, and he also said it's taking huge toll on him mentally, and he's not able to sleep, and it's worrying him, and there is so much to do, but he hasn't the capacity, and he's afraid to kind of take a break in between, to kind of re-energize, to regroup. And he's continuing to work and to do, trying to deal with everything that is going on without taking any breaks. And it takes a huge toll on him mentally, and also obviously physically. And that is why I kind of want to double down on what I have been saying the last few days, where I'm saying, like, I'm utilizing the tools that are available to me, like retro gaming, like going to the gym, like motorcycling, like listening to an audiobook, to regroup, re-energize, and refocus. And even those small breaks, like 10 minutes, playing a game, listening to an audiobook. And I feel like that's why I'm kind of repeating myself with playing. I feel like when you are playing a game, you dive into that, and it is easier to kind of refocus because you're not thinking about that problem. Or if you're going to the gym doing martial arts, you refocus because you don't think about that, right? But yeah, going to the gym to martial, he and I, we both train Muay Thai and boxing, but he doesn't come to training because he knows, okay, that takes away at least 90 minutes of my day where I need to work. That's why he's not going, which is again the reason why I recommend retro gaming. You get away from your phone, you get into, in air quotes, a world like Chrono Trigger or Tetris or whatever it might be for 10 minutes. It is easy to incorporate those 10 minutes into your day to kind of switch off and then refocus. And I think the important part here is not, as I said previously, not to ignore your problems, but to kind of switch off your brain, reset it, refocus, not think about that, and go back with a new perspective into whatever you need to do. And he's not able to do that because he's so worried about his business, his problems, that he doesn't want to take those breaks, but that kind of chips away every single second basically at his mental health and his physical health. Where I personally, as his friend, I'm really worried about that, and that is why I'm kind of want to talk about this again and kind of normalize that taking these breaks should be okay for you. I mean, I don't smoke. Why do people who smoke get 10-minute breaks to smoke? So why shouldn't we also take 10-minute breaks to kind of play a game so we can refocus and kind of reset our brains? And that is so important. Again, it's not about ignoring your problems. It's all about resetting and then going back to whatever you have to deal with a fresh mind. And I see that with my buddy, that he's not able to do that. And I think I'm really worried about him, to be quite frank. And that's why I'm kind of repeating myself in these videos, because I do see that what I've been saying the last few days isn't normal. People are also afraid. I mean, I totally can relate. That's why I'm bringing up this example of smoking. When I was employed, if I would have sat at my desk playing a game, my boss would have been furious, whilst all of my other people in the same room took at least every 2 hours, a 10-minute break to smoke. While I'm the non-smoker, I'm sitting there, I'm constantly working. And I was like, this is weird. Why is it mandatory and allowed to take 10 minutes breaks because you're doing something that is really unhealthy to you? Why is that okay? Whilst me as a non-smoker, I'm not allowed to take a 10-minute breaks in between? It's weird, right? So that is why I'm saying it's not normalized. It's not normal to take those 10 minutes breaks for something else like gaming or whatever, doing something else. It is so important to just reset your brain. And again, I'm repeating myself, but I totally see with everyone around me that is not normalized. It's not normal to take those breaks, but we should. And especially we should not only take a break, but we should do something that resets our brain so that we can get refreshed back to whatever we need to do. So again, I think these retro gaming devices are amazing because they get you away from your phone notifications and stuff like that and reset your brain to be refreshed. And yeah, highly recommend. Let me know what you think about this, and maybe check out my last videos where I talked about those 3 tools that help me to reset in the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Don't forget to hype and like this video, and maybe subscribe, and helping me to get to 2,000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.